What is going on, guys? It's Bucky and welcome to your 5th intermediate Java tutorial. And in this tutorial we're going to be finishing up the program that we started on last time. So what we ended up printing out list 2, but I changed it back to list 1. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and write a method called editList. And this is a method that we're going to be building in this tutorial. And we're going to be passing list 1. And I named this more things. And let's see. Yep. List 1 and list 2. There we go. Embarrassing. List 2. So this is a method that we're going to be making. So it says create method, you're going to get an error. That's alright for now. So next we're just going to put system out print line, and we're just going to put in break line, print a blank line. There we go. And then we're going to print out list 1 again. So you're saying, alright, what exactly is going on in here? Well, in this method what we're going to do is we're going to edit list number 1 and take out items. So what we want to happen here is we want it to print out eggs, lasers, hats, and pie, and then it's going to run this method right here that we're going to build, and then it's going to print out eggs and pie because it's going to delete these two. So you'll see in a few seconds what's going on. So now we get in this error, create method. Alright, we will. So in this method, let's go ahead and make it public static void, and we named it edit list. And of course it takes two parameters, which are collections, list 1 and list 2. So it's going to take collection, and you couldn't pass it a list, but for polymorphism you usually want to pass it the highest thing possible. So let's go ahead and pass it a string. We'll just name this one L1. Kind of looks like 1, 1, or 11. Very confusing, but I like confusing things. Collection, and pass it string, and we'll just name this one L2 for simplicity. And in our body of our method, let's go ahead and let me introduce something very important in collections, and especially this, named an iterator. Iterator, and of course I imported this earlier on, so did I spell that right? Yep. And pass it in, what do you want to iterate it through? And of course, if you don't know what an iterator is, it pretty much goes through each list item by item. Wow, that's a really good explanation. I just did that on the fly. Pretty good. Pretty proud of myself. So we wanted to go through string data, and I'm going to name my iterator it because, you know, give it a cool name. List number 1, eggs, lasers, hats, pie. When did we do that? Right here. Print out items in list number 1. Eggs, lasers, hats, pie. Then we ran a program called edit list, and by program I mean method. And what this did is remove all the items from list number 2 in list number 1. And then it printed a blank line just so you can return to the next line, and it printed out the items again. So now it removed lasers and hats, which was list number 2, and printed out the list again. And how did this edit list work? Well, how it worked is you passed it in 2 lists, which was this list and this list. Let me make this a little more even. And you made an iterator object just so you could loop through item to item in list number 1. And then you said, alright, while loop through each of these items, this. For this item, see if list number 2 contains it. Nope. For this item, this is actually list number 1. I don't know what I'm doing. For this item, is this in list number 2? Yep, so I'm going to delete it. For this item, is this in list number 2? Yep, so I'm going to delete it. For this item, is this in list number 2? Nope, so we can keep it. So that's why eggs and pie were able to be kept, and that's pretty much the power of a list. Again, dynamic, pretty awesome, and that's it for this tutorial. So thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next tutorial.